Your eyes do not deceive you. Yes, this is my team builder for week number 10 of the WBE. Long story short, Aaron and I could not play because he was really busy with Worlds. When he came back, he was originally going to give me a forfeit victory, but Dan was like, no, if you can play your game next week, that's fine, just do it. It sucks to get a forfeit win. So I was like, okay. And then he said, yeah, we'll play whatever day next week. And then he got back from his trip, so here we are. I'm like 2 weeks behind. Week 11 should also be up this week. I'm not sure about week 12. I really want to try and push week 12 back maybe to next week, just because I already have so many other games that I need to get done this week as it is, and I have way less games next week though. So yeah, hoping I can at least do weeks 10 and 11, and then yeah, so no graphics just because I wanted to get this up tonight on Wednesday. We should be playing in a few minutes, and the match will hopefully be going up tomorrow. Unless he can't upload tomorrow, then I guess we'll just push it back another day, and this will just go up Thursday, I suppose. I don't really know. So yeah, looking at our matchup here, we are facing Aaron, Cybertron, Zing. Channel link and stuff will be down below for you guys to go check out if for some reason you don't know who he is. He is a VGC monster, and he recently got into Draft League, and he's been doing pretty decent. So I'm actually really excited to play him. I didn't get to play him in GBA Season 9, and I really wanted to, and we luckily get to play him this week for WBE, though he is the coach of the Melbourne Rotoms, of course. So looking at his team, look at Mamoswine and just realize that it comes in, clicks a button, and absolutely murders me. I mean, like homicide, 187, the whole 9 yards. Like, it just violates me. Its dual stab is unresisted by anything on my team, and that is very terrifying. I need to be very, very careful of that Mamoswine. Next off, the other really terrifying threat is Kartana. Like, if it's Swords Dance Timid Kartana, late game, it can basically just sweep me. The only way I can even avoid that from destroying me is by having Scarf Tauros, but Scarf Tauros is just really not that good in this matchup. So I need to find other ways to deal with Kartana. Another really terrifying thing about this game is that Rotom Heat is honestly super annoying, dude. Its dual stab, much like Mamoswine's, is a giant pain to my team, and it's unresisted by anything that I have. So that thing can come in, Bolt Switch for free potentially, gain him momentum, defog, spread Will-O-Wisps, Toxics, or Thunder Waves, which just makes it even more annoying. Conkeldurr is also another really terrifying issue to deal with. Blissey, Milk Tank are honestly not that much of a problem. We have double fighting types. I kind of expect one or the other potentially, although Aromatisse basically does everything that Milk Tank and Blissey do, except that it doesn't get rocks. So I guess it forces rocks on Mamoswine, which would actually be good for me, just because that means it doesn't have 4 moves, or it may not have substitute. So that's a huge plus. Guzzlord and Excelgor, I'm honestly not too sure if either of them are going to come, honestly. Like, yeah, Guzzlord seems pretty good on paper here, just because its dual stab is really good against me, like Mamoswine and Rotom, but their dual stab is much better than Guzzlord's dual stab. And again, I have 2 fighting types, so I feel like he would treat it like Blissey and Milk Tank, where he's just not going to bring it. And then Excelgor, I don't really know what Excelgor does when I have Steelix, Muck, and Cradilly to an extent. Also Moltres if he doesn't have Hidden Power Rocks. So yeah, those 4 mons I really don't expect. So the top 6 are mainly the things I think he's going to want to bring. Like, I guess Excelgor has a chance to come, but like over what? I think I'd rather see Excelgor than something like Conkeldurr or Rotom or even Aromatisse. So yeah, we'll just see how things go. But let's take a look at our first team member here. So notice how I said Mamoswine absolutely murders me. Well, this is kind of my switch into Mamoswine, so it doesn't just absolutely violate me, which it can actually do pretty good, man. If he can do really good in this match, if for some reason he doesn't bring Mamoswine, I'm gonna be thoroughly like shocked and baffled, honestly. The only reason I would see him not bringing Mamoswine is because realistically it is really slow. Like, base 80 speed's not that good, although the way my speed tiers are, he can easily run an adamant nature on Mamoswine, which is genuinely annoying. So I need to be very careful with that. But outside of that, Mamoswine offensively is such a problem for me to switch in. And I figure that defensive Manaphy is honestly not that bad, because if he brings like Spadef, Aromatisse, or Spadef Blissey, then Tailglow is really not gonna be doing anything for me in this game. So I figured a defensive Manaphy is actually not that bad, honestly, because I can spread Toxics, and you're gonna see that Toxic is kind of a theme of this team. But it is really nice to just pivot right into Mamoswine. I thought about maybe having U-turn over something like Dazzling Gleam or Toxic, but honestly, Dazzling Gleam helps me hit the Guzzlord for 4 times super effective damage. And as much as I want to have Ice Beam, in case he does have the Guzzlord, I would rather have Dazzling Gleam. Because I mean, I still have HP Fire for Kartana, and I figured I need HP Fire regardless on this set for the Kartana. So I can just have Dazzling Gleam for the Guzzlord, and it shouldn't be that big of an issue. But we are running enough speed on this Manaphy to outspeed a Timid Max Speed Rotom Heat, and we also outspeed a Jolly Mamoswine. Now again, I don't expect Jolly Mamoswine, but I do kind of expect a very speedy Rotom Heat, so I would rather be careful and just run that much speed creep. Shouts out to my like 2 front office homies that helped me out this week for building. I know Marin helped me, Marin Varen. I think Shuckle King and Harris helped, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I know Marin gave me some input though. So he actually recommended I should run enough speed for Rotom actually. So yeah, we have enough speed for Rotom. Just max defense with 100 HP, because this ensures that we take like maybe 1 or 2% less from an attack from Mamoswine. So it wouldn't make much sense for me to go max HP 100 defense, because it actually does more damage. And I'm not worried about special hits regardless, because most of his team is physical. It's just the Slowbro and the Rotom that are special, and I outspeed Rotom, and I'm not worried about like Psychic or Scald coming from the Slowbro. So yeah, Surf, HP Fire, Dazzling Gleam hits everything. Toxic is really nice for just his bulky mons. And yeah, that's really it. Citrus Berry is just there because I don't think I'll ever be below 25% to get the 50% boost. So by having Citrus Berry, I guarantee I always live to it for Mamoswine. Low-key banded Mamoswine actually kind of scares me, but I'm not that concerned about it because I can play around it if it is banded. So yeah, that wouldn't be entirely too... Actually, I mean, it wouldn't be good, but it wouldn't be too bad, I suppose. So next off, we have Bailey, another Marin Varen special here. And this set is actually really, really cool because it's running an extremely amount of speed. So the idea behind this set is to be able to outspeed Blissey, Conkeldurr, Aromatisse, and Slowbro, if I'm not mistaken. And then because I can outspeed all of them, yeah, Slowbro, yeah. Because I can outspeed all of them, I can then boost up outspeeding them. So I can just genuinely use them as setup fodder. I think originally Focus Blast was on this set somewhere, but again, I really don't expect Guzzlord to come to this match. So I figured that if he doesn't have Guzzlord, then this also really helps me break through his fat, unless he's like Rest Talk Slowbro, which honestly doesn't make much sense because if he was Rest Talk Calm Mind, that means he would only have Scald or Psychic, which means he either doesn't touch my Muck or he doesn't touch my Cradilly, which I know both kind of have a rough matchup, but there's still 2 mons he needs to take into consideration. So I don't expect Rest Talk Slowbro at all, and just Rest Slowbro doesn't make much sense to me either. If it is Rest, then I can just outboost it, so I guess it's not entirely that bad. Psychic and Psyshock were kind of up in the air, but honestly Psychic is run over Psyshock just because it does more damage to Mamoswine, and any amount of damage I can get off on the Mamoswine, the better, because of just how terrifyingly scary it is. And then Shadow Ball can Spadef drop Slowbro, I suppose, so I guess it's not the worst thing ever, but this honestly late game could just sweep by itself. Again, we have enough speed to outspeed all those mons as long as they're not running an extremely high amount of speed themselves, which would be over like 30, maybe 50-ish speed EVs, but none of them really have any merit to run that much speed. So I'm really hoping that this Reuniclus set can come in handy. Obviously, if he does have Guzzlord, then I'm going to need to get rid of Guzzlord before this Reuniclus can even do anything in this match. So yeah, that's basically the idea behind this set. I think it was also Z-Move, but I really don't want to have Z-Move on this. and I'd rather have Z move on something else. Cobra Berry for knockoff from the Mamoswine, and the Conkeldurr, as well as potentially the Kartana, which can actually come in really handy in saving us. And Shadow Ball still does over like 50%, I think, to Kartana, so it should never just really boost up twice in my face, which is going to be really nice as well. So really hoping that this Reuniclus set can actually catch him off guard. That would be amazing, honestly. So moving on to our next team member here is going to be our actual Zmon, which is going to be Outrage Dragonium Z Komodo. Now, the thing about Komodo in this match is that it really has 4 move slot syndrome. A part of me almost wanted to not even have Stealth Rocks on this set, but honestly, if he brings Rotom, if Mega Slowbro Megas, and he does have Mamoswine, just getting the chip damage off on all 3 of those would be absolutely phenomenal. And then if I do Toxic his walls, or just Toxic anything in general, them taking that extra little bit of chip is also very helpful, as well as a potential Flame Orb Conkeldurr coming. Being able to get that extra little bit of damage off could come in very handy. So I'm hoping that I can easily get a Brox in this game. However, if he gets a Brox on my side of the field, that would be genuinely annoying, as you guys will see here in a second. A little hint, wing there. But yeah, Rocks, I think we're just too good, dude. I could not pass up Rocks in this game, honestly. So we are running Swords Dance 2 attacks. Now this set has a giant flaw in the sense that if I lock myself into Outrage, then Kartana could potentially come in, and if it's like sub SD, I just get swept and violated. So I need to be very careful how I play this Komodo. But if I'm at +2, then I do enough damage to the Kartana to where it doesn't matter if I need to lock myself into Outrage. And Earthquake was just kind of there as a middle ground move. The only downside to the set is that I unfortunately don't outspeed Rotom Heat, which is honestly really annoying. So I do kind of expect to get burned, so that's why I almost don't want to have Swords Dance. But if I can boost up before I get burned, then at +2, I'm going to be smacking something extremely hard with an Earthquake or a Z Outrage. The only thing that would comfortably still take a +2 hit is a fully Fizz Def Aromatisse. So I do expect Aromatisse, but obviously I'm not going to just blindly SD. Even like Fizz Def Mega Slowbro from +2 Dragonium Z Outrage takes like over 70%, I think, which is insane, honestly. So if I can like murder the Slowbro, that would be amazing. But yeah, we'll see just how much this Komodo can do in this match. I guess maybe Taunt over Swords Dance might have not been bad either, and then I could change like Outrage and Earthquake, but I don't really want to go down that route. It's just the fact that I can +2 and absolutely Oko something once Aromatisse is gone is just way too good to pass up, I think. And if I get a Brox and I'm able to knock something out, then Komodo's done more than I even needed to do. So hey, that would be a huge plus. So moving on to our next team member is going to be our hazard removal in the form of Silvally. This is just normal Silvally. Now, I was really flip-flopping between so many different Silvally types. I think I had Dragon, I wanted Ground, Fairy was on there for a bit, and ultimately I just settled on Silvally normal with an Ayapapa Berry, because the main thing I really need Silvally to do in this game is just pivot around. And if I don't have some type of recovery, this pivoting around becomes a lot more difficult. And even though I don't resist or am immune to any of Rotom's stabs, I can still kind of safely switch it in on the Rotom. And if I'm able to get a Brox, then it's going to be taking 25% every time upon switching, which in itself is really handy, honestly. And then Ayapapa Berry is there just in case I am able to get below 25%, which I should be able to, I think. And then that way I get the burst of HP, which can come in very handy and be way more useful than something like Leftovers, just because of how I want to try and play this Silvally. So I know I am not running more speed than a Timid Rotom. Timid Rotom hits 151 speed. I need to hit 152 speed if I want to outspeed it. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that if I outspeed Rotom, that's actually really bad for me, because I don't really have anything that I'm going to comfortably want to switch it in on if he does Volt Switch. So if he is timid max speed, which I expect him to be, or fast enough to just outspeed Komodo, then that's still less speed than I have now. Or that's still more speed than I have now, sorry. So yeah, he should hit like he should almost have like max speed on Rotom, basically is what I'm saying. So because I have less than what max speed he will have, then that means I should always go second after his Volt Switch. And because I don't have a ground type in this game, he might feel more comfortable in just Volt Switching more and more and more, especially on my Silvally. So even if he does want to like overheat me or burn me with the Will-O-Wisp, that's fine. I don't mind it. I just need this Silvally to try and pressure the Rotom, or just gain momentum off of it, or just pivot around in general to any type of defensive mons he does have. So Flamethrower and Tri-Attack hit everything. The beauty of Tri-Attack is that I'm not bothered by Will-O-Wisp, and I almost had Return over Tri-Attack, but I guess Tri-Attack also does have the 20% chance to paralyze, burn, or freeze, so that in itself could come in really handy if I'm able to freeze, like, I don't know, Aromatisse maybe. That'd be nice. Obviously, I'm not going to try to put myself in a position of where I'm relying on getting the status, but hey, if it happens, it happens, and that would be really good. So yeah, enough speed to outspeed Jolly Mamoswine, if I'm not mistaken. Max HP even, so we can have a good chance to get our berry back, and then 108 in Spadef, and then just 4 in defense and special attack, I suppose. I don't know, I guess I could have put them in the Spadef here, but from 108 to 116, the damage rolls don't change if I'm not mistaken, so it's really not that big of an issue. But yeah, Defog, Parting Shot, Flamethrower, Tri-Attack, hoping that the Silvally can do exactly what I need it to do, which is keep hazards off of the field, pivot around, and if it can status things, that would be amazing. So because we have Defog in our match here, you guys already know I'm going to be bringing Moltres. Now Moltres is one of my two important members in this match. Look at how bulky his team is. His team is disgustingly fat and disgustingly annoying. So that's where this Moltres set just comes in so beautifully handy. And that is sub-roost pressure. I can stall out his bulky mons. I can wear them down with Toxic. Max HP Moltres has really good bulk. I'm not O-code by anything unless it's boosted or it's hitting me extremely hard with a rock type move if itself is also boosted. So in that sense, Moltres is actually a giant pain for him to deal with in this game, and I do believe he's going to have to run Hidden Power Rock on quite a few mons, or just rock coverage in general. And obviously if it's something like Rock Slide or Stone Edge, I can outstall Stone Edge because with pressure they only have 4, and then I can also just keep subbing up on Rock Slide because of the chance that it'll eventually miss, and I can roost off, and then I don't take 4 times the damage, and I still stall out Rock Slides until they miss. And just, yeah, basically this Moltres is here to just be a giant nuisance to Aaron's team, whether it be offensive or defensively fat. This is a giant nuisance to him. With our investment, we were able to take a +2 what's it called, Normalium Z return. I'm not sure if he would have Giga Impact with Normalium Z. I suppose that is the more scary option if he does have Normalium Z Giga Impact with Swords Dance. If he's Scarfed, it's not that big of an issue. Like, I would much rather see a Scarf Kartana than Swords Dance or Timid Swords Dance, honestly. So that's where Cheelon Berry comes in handy. Cheelon Berry lets me half the damage of a return or a Z return or Z Giga Impact, live the hit at full HP if he is at +2, and then Air Slash after like 10%. Like after 1 Stealth Rock switch in, Air Slash does have a chance to knock him out, but after 2 Stealth Rock switch-ins, it's a guaranteed knockout. The only issue, of course, is that I could miss because it's 95% accurate, so as long as I'm not that unlucky, then Air Slash should be able to knock out Kartana. Now, obviously, I could have Flamethrower over Air Slash, but see, I just really want to be cheeky, because if let's say I Toxic Slowbro, right? And I'm sub-roosting, eventually it's Toxic. I can go for Air Slash, spam it, and eventually I'm going to flinch Slowbro, which means not only do I stop him from doing anything, I also ensure he takes more toxic damage, and I ensure I just get off another hit with Air Slash again the following turn to apply even more pressure. So yeah, very cheeky, I know, but I mean, it also does hit Conkeldurr, which is really, really handy, honestly, because Conkeldurr could actually be really problematic. So yeah, I mean, Flamethrower is fine to guarantee the KO on Kartana, but I really feel like Air Slash is more than good enough, in my opinion. So I'd rather stick with Air Slash here. The benefits of it is just way too good for me to pass up, honestly. So Moltres might actually be able to put in a lot of work. We'll see how things go, though. And the second member of my very important core is another Sub-Toxic Mon, but this time we have Sub-Toxic Protect on Mega Lopunny. I think this set was my boy Marin's idea. Well, I think I mentioned Sub-Toxic. I don't even remember. But I know Marin made the EV spread here, and I think he just touched up the set for me. So, again, shouts out to my boy Marin Varen for helping me out this week. But the great thing about this Lopunny set is that it kind of functions like Moltres, except obviously Lopunny doesn't have reliable recovery. So we can just have Protect, and then we have Drain Punch to kind of gain back HP. And this is an amazing way for me to try and 1v1 something like Aromatisse if it doesn't have Heal Bell, or Aromatherapy, I should say. And then a great way for me to 1v1 Slowbro, which Slowbro could actually be really annoying, but as soon as I get rid of Slowbro, that's one massively, massively gigantic wall out of the way that I no longer have to deal with. And again, just spreading Toxics in general is really good. If I know he has something choiced, then having Protect is very, very handy, honestly. So we are running enough speed to outspeed Kartana. If it is not Scarfed, I'm pretty sure. Enough attack EV just to ensure that we're doing really good, decent damage with Drain Punch. Obviously, we're not going to be doing anything to Mega Slowbro, and we're going to be flicking Aromatisse at least, but still getting back HP is really good, so I would like to do damage to everything else on his squad. And then the rest of it is just in HP, so we can try and take hits with our Substitute, hopefully. Obviously, Bug Buzz could be a little bit annoying, but again, I don't expect Excelgor just because I can bring Fake Out, Quick Attack, Mega Lopunny, and I've brought it so many times already. So yeah, I don't know if he would really want to bring Excelgor because of that, but that is going to be our squad for this week, guys. Hopefully we don't get absolutely wrecked by Mamoswine and don't get absolutely murdered by Kartana. So let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Again, hopefully the match will be going up Thursday. The night that this goes up, just assume that the next day is when the battle's going up. So yeah, playing Aaron here in a few minutes, and we should be good to go, hopefully. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.
Because my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.